Hey guys, this is James, the non-professional, back with another episode of Draw. And today we're doing the Riddler. Alright, so let's break out those blue line pencils and throw some concepts there up on the stage. Let's get these roughs down and see what works, what doesn't work. And it's been a long time since I mentioned it, so try to use simple shapes and, circles for the shoulders, circles for the biceps, circles for the pecs, just simple shapes. And then we're going to throw a skin on those shapes. For those who haven't seen my earlier videos, we're actually going depth about what roughs are for. It's basically to, get a basic idea of what you want the drawing to be, and then you'll go over it with pencils. Now, from what I understand, the Riddler is actually going to be one of the villains in the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. And it's going to be played by that priest, that priest guy from that movie There Will Be Blood. And he's in another Ethan Hawke movie. I can't remember. But, I mean, you would recognize his face if you see him. But the live-action Riddler in the older Batman movies, I think it was Batman Forever, Riddler was played by Jim Carrey. I wasn't super impressed. I like Jim Carrey as an actor. I didn't like him as a Riddler because the first two movies were done by Tim Burton, and everything was done in sort of muted colors, and the city looked grim and dark and brooding, just like Batman, the character himself. And when Joel Schumacher took over, it was like this Vegas style Batman, where everything was neon lights and you had neon paint on people's faces, and even the Mr. Freeze, he had like glitter makeup on his face, and in the Riddler, and all the characters were just so over the top all the time, and it just but in the new movie it seems as though it's a lot more true to the detective comic look, back when the origins of Batman, when it was called Detective Comics, and it was just sort of grim and bleak look on society, and Batman is sort of overcoming his demons in order to fight for this society that just doesn't seem to want to fight for itself. But anyways, I am kind of excited about the new one, and I'm anxious to see what they do with the Riddler in this one, if they're going to make him green even, maybe they just have like accents of green or whatever. But I don't imagine they'll have him bright green and flashy like, in the Joel Schumacher films or Batman Forever. But anyways, we're in lines, so let's keep these lines super tight, and let's make these details a little bit more permanent. I had to redraw that eye over and over again, because when you're drawing an eye inside of something, like a black mask or a black cowl, you got to take into consideration that when you actually color it in black, it's going to make your eyes look smaller, because you no longer have that black outline. It's just going to blend in with the black that's on the mask itself. So you got to redraw it, make the eye a little bit bigger than you would typically make it, because the blacks on the outside, the black outline of the eye is going to be covered up. And I don't know if you guys caught my drawing of the crow, but I did talk about the clothing, how to draw clothing properly, basically looking for the pinch points, and letting your lines sort of flow out from that pinch point, and then as the lines flow out, they actually curve the contours of the muscles. So, for example, as a small example, there's if you look at his armpit on his left arm there, you got a pinch point right underneath that arm, and you see all the creases and the wrinkles just sort of go out from that little pinch point, and curve his pec muscle there. Same thing around the bicep, same thing around the shoulder muscle. It's just a brief little refresher on what I said during the crow video. So those question marks, I mean, on pencils they look good, but when you're in inks and those things have to be super tight, it's hard to make a question mark, or any text for that matter, look super tight, over and over again, and also make them look alike. So what I ended up doing was just getting a text file, or placing a text on there, and then rasterizing it and manipulating it. So I know you can't do that on pencil and paper. My suggestion is you get a stencil of a question mark, and then use the stencil to make little question marks all over your jacket there. You can actually buy stencils that have the alphabet in several different sizes in a row. So you'll see like A, then a smaller A, then a smaller A, smaller A, and then a tiny A, and B, and so on. They're not that expensive. You can actually find them on Amazon for pretty cheap. I bought a bunch of stencils for my kids because they've been trying to draw, not draw comic books, but draw the cartoons that I have on my, kids channel or kids playlist here. So we are in the final stage, which is inks. So let's keep those lines super tight and let's make these details permanent. I am anxious to see how they do the Riddler in this upcoming movie because, one of the things that make movies intriguing is questions or riddles that the protagonist has to struggle to find out or struggle to solve. I'm a big old Psych fan, the show Psych. I don't know if you guys know it, but basically it's about this guy who pretends he's psychic when actually he's just a really astute detective, a really keen observer. Anyways, and they have this episode where, the villain is asking these riddles and he has to solve these riddles or someone will die. Same thing in Die Hard 3, I believe it is, where these riddles come out. If you don't answer these riddles, someone dies. But anyways, those are the question marks that I just used the text, just put it on there and I just manipulated. And so I didn't want to go through all that. So you have to look at all that, just me moving the little question mark around, copying and pasting. Anyways, always remember your 3 P's: persistence, patience, perseverance. That's how you mature in any endeavor. Hey guys, if you like my content, please like or comment below. And if you want regular updates, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.